Hello, Musto0063 here for a bit of a special video. I did say in my update video at the beginning of the year that I wouldn't be doing any Project Diva Let's Plays or anything of the sort. Don't worry, despite what it looks like, I'm still not. But I couldn't pass up this, forgive the phrase, perfect opportunity to upload this little video, coming, straight off the heels of completing Mega Man 11 Robot Master Perfect runs. So, yeah, this is actually a still from that update video that I posted at the beginning of the year, where I mentioned that there were 5 songs that I had not been able to perfect on hard mode. I drew a nice parallel actually with my Mega Man Perfect runs, given that there were 5 Robot Master stages I hadn't been able to do on that. So yeah, nice little parallel. As always tends to be my way, I did go back to start sort of grinding these out. And very recently completed the last one, so we'll see the footage for that coming up pretty much now, actually, which was the intense voice of Hatsune Miku. But to backtrack a little bit, so yeah, this was the 238th out of 238 songs on hard mode that I had been able to perfect. But yeah, I did start to kind of grind away at them. They didn't. A couple of them went down pretty straightforwardly, actually. They weren't like, I didn't spend like an absolute eternity on them. I probably spent a fair few hours on them, not. Once you sort of go back and you kind of replay them, and I feel like I got better at the game and everything like that, they actually didn't feel like they were too bad at all. And that sort of left 3, and I kind of felt like, you know what, none of these feel like they're going to be, well, I don't know, possibly this one, but barring this one, the others sort of didn't feel like they were going to be impossible to do. So I kind of felt like, you know what, I'll spend some time trying to grind out the other two. The other two, by the way, were Sadistic Music Factory and Necroposy Continues, which are both blimmin' difficult, at least for someone like me, on hard mode. As I said, the other two went down not too much time, but yes, Sadistic Music Factory and Necroposy Continues were still an enormous pain in the arse. I don't really want to touch either of them again, particularly Sadistic Music Factory. God, that is such a pain in the arse, that one. Anyway, yeah, I got through those two at some point in time, and yeah, sort of ended up with well, one left. So I kind of felt like, okay, now I'm really going to have to spend a lot of time trying to do this. The problem I had, because I say I'm not an expert on these at all, just based on the fact, obviously, of how much trouble I've said even those last 5 gave me on hard mode. So yeah, I'm not a master of this in the slightest. The big problem is I can't dual wield very well. So that tends to lead to problems when you've got sections like this. Dual wielding is when basically you would use the left, the directional button as well as the actual shape buttons as well. So, like for example, pressing right would also function as a circle rather than just pressing the circle button. So yeah, this kind of thing is a pain in the arse. Now, admittedly, it's still not that bad, even despite the trouble I'd had with dual wielding. Because, like I said, it's a pain in the arse, but it's still not dreadful. Unlike this. Holy frickin' hell, I cannot begin to tell you how long that took to do. The last 5 seconds of that song, or at least the last 5 seconds where there are actually notes to hit, is just insane for someone like me, say who is not a master of these games and cannot dual wield. As I say, dual wield would be pressing. So, for example, there in that row of circles, it wouldn't just be pressing the circle button over and over again. It would be alternating between the right and the circle button, so that your finger doesn't get ridiculously tired pressing the one button over and over and over again. I can't do that, so the only way I could possibly do that was to literally hit the circle button over and over and over again, then the cross button over and over and over again, then the square button over and over and over again, and finally the triangle button over and over and over again. And that is just an enormous pain in the arse. Practice mode is an absolute godsend in the sense that I can pretty much, obviously just load up that section, probably take it a little bit further back as well just to transition into it, just so I'm not doing just that section, because the transition is probably quite important as well. But yeah, practice mode only goes so far. I wouldn't say muscle memory is really a thing there, to be honest. So yeah, the big thing, practice mode is obviously certainly a help, but there's 2 big things that don't necessarily correlate to doing it for real. The first one, obviously, being that is at the end of the song, in the sense that by doing it in practice mode, I can isolate just that section and not have to worry about the rest of the song, 2.5 minutes getting up to it. Particularly the other bit I mentioned that is a slight pain in the arse. That bit tends to make my fingers cramp up a little bit, and then to go into that section afterwards is rather irritating. I can take that out of the equation on practice mode, but of course the big thing is just the fact of the no pressure. In practice mode, I can play that as many times as I want. There's no pressure on me. When I get to that section in the last 5 seconds of the song for real, I'm still able to perfect it. Yeah, there's quite a bit of pressure on me there, and yeah, my success rate with that was absolutely dreadful, and yeah, I'm just so relieved to have it done. I couldn't actually believe just how amazingly the scores worked out here on those 8-star difficulty ones on hard mode, which tend to be, not all of them. Magical Sound Shower, I definitely say wouldn't. I showed that off in my update video, and I thought that was actually quite an easy one, frankly, compared to the other 8-star ones. But yeah, how wonderfully grouped they are. So there is one there, Den Paradigm, that's about 103.12 or something. But yeah, I couldn't believe it when I actually cleared that 4 of the 5 8 stars of difficulties on hard are actually all together. So that's quite incredible. But yeah, I won't keep you too long on this one. The other thing from a time point of view, it being kind of perfect in this, is the release of the Switch game, Mega Mix, or Project Diva Mega Mix, which was coming out in the West, or certainly in Europe, and probably America and all that, in English, on this week, the week that I'm uploading this video, on 15th of May, I believe. So yeah, I'm not going to be getting the game because I own this game on the PS4. Plus, I'll be getting all the extra songs that are on that game as DLC when this comes up later. But yeah, that's another kind of thing that was kind of nicely timed with actually the release of this game, in the West in English. And yeah, what can I say? I've just had so much fun with this game in particular. And I say it's shot up to the kind of almost near the top of my favourites list. So yeah. Lovely. I think that's all I had for this. I'll keep it fairly short. Yeah, I want to be next. I want to be Guy fan game. I want to Reach the Moon will be coming up very shortly, also this week. But yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll hopefully see you for that. Until then, cheerio.